Welcome back to my channel. This is Becca with House of Lenormand. Today is Saturday, September 21st, and I wanted to say hello and welcome to all of the new subscribers. And I also wanted to say that last video that we did on the UAPs, that was a lot of fun. I was so happy to read your comments and hear about your experiences and your thoughts and your views on everything, and that was really, really cool. So I'm thinking about doing more stuff like that, perhaps looking at different subjects if you guys are interested, just to kind of break it up a little bit, because, you know, this stuff is just, it's wearing us down. So I wanted to say thank you for that, and I'm so happy to hear that you enjoyed that video. I did as well. I really enjoyed engaging with you guys in the comments section. It's a lot of fun. So today I wanted to recreate this grand tableau that I had done for Donald Trump in August. The date was August 11th, 2019, and this grand tableau goes from May to December. I know that I have a few new subscribers here since I did this video, so I'm just going to try to hit some high points with you guys very briefly before we look at what else is coming up. And because I had gone so far out on this grand tableau, I like to bring it up every once in a while to kind of review and see how things are developing and see where it fits in, because this has basically everything. It uses the entire spread. It uses the housing system. So there's a huge amount of information to go through with this, and I don't catch everything. So, but it's kind of like a book inside of a book, inside of a book, inside of a book. So it's kind of like, it's fascinating to me. And I've gotten a lot of great feedback from you guys on these grand tableaus. So I thought that we should perhaps put this back up with, especially with all of the new developments that have come out recently. So the way that I had done this was from April through December. And the way that I had set it up in my mind before I laid the cards out was that each column was going to be a month. And lucky for us, that's how it came out. So let's go ahead. I'm going to pull you guys down so we can go through it together. Okay, here it is. I'm using the small travel size Lenormand deck today to try to fit it into the frame. So for all of the new subscribers out there, this is a grand tableau. I went from April through December. So each column here is a month. So this is May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. And from there we can start interacting, linking houses, knighting, looking at double lines of 5, looking at double lines of 7. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff that we can do with this spread because it uses the entire deck. One of the first things we do when we look at a grand tableau is we find where the significator is, and that really does give us a lot of information on the theme of the spread. So the grand tableau was for Donald Trump, so we would look for the man, and he's down here. He's all the way at the very, very bottom. This whole area up here is the tableau. He lands outside of it. So because he is outside of the tableau and at the very, very bottom, this would signal that all of this stuff going on here is overwhelming him. He doesn't necessarily have any control over any of this stuff. He's just all the way at the bottom. Usually the line of fate is an important message for the querent or the person that is sitting for the reading. So for him, it's going to be that there's going to be some very important information coming in about his long-term abuse and his guilt of corruption. This could also be talking about chronic stress, chronic criminality, chronic thievery, or perhaps a chronic illness as well. Okay. One thing that I wanted to note was when I had done this video way back in May, I had made the error that because I had set the intention for Donald Trump Jr. to show up for me as the dog, I assumed that this was Donald Trump Jr., specifically because he had the tree and the birds right next to him. That usually signals siblings. Well, This person's life was in danger. If we look down this column here, this person, because of the housing system, the cross lands back in the house of dog, meaning this person is guilty, or they're carrying the burden, and they have the key to a lot of really, really dirty little secrets, because the key lands in the house of book. The book goes back to the mice. The mice goes back here. There's secret corruption, secret thievery, just something really dirty going on here. In that original reading, I had said that this person has the possibility of going to jail because of these three right here, and also because the cross landed back on this person's house. So if we read this little line here, that's handcuffs, guilty, isolation. This here is an airport, an institution where you leave and return. Well, what had happened was, as we all know, Jeffrey Epstein was arrested at an airport in the month of July. That was the news that was delivered to him. Okay, I had said that in August we were going to be hearing about money. And what we did see was, perhaps, I know that the House was on break, but they were holding meetings and having conferences, perhaps, or meeting with their constituents, or having group meetings within themselves to discuss this man's career and his family business and how he is profiting off his position in the White House. He lands in the house of fish, which is money. The house lands in the house of man, which is him. So this could be him in the White House profiting off of the White House. And we're also seeing financial institutions here. Okay. So we know that the news in August was, I believe New York was working on his tax returns, his business records, and all that stuff. That's what happened. That whole thing was moving forward in August. That was the news for August. For September, we're looking at the investigations being done by the House and the investigations into him specifically, and how he's profiting off of his position in government here, with the man knighting to the tower and knighting over to the Clovers. He's making an opportunity to enrich himself while he's in the White House. We're seeing the investigations by the House into multiple obstructions, with the mountain followed here by the crossroads. These are multiple obstacles, multiple obstructions, and the opportunities that he is making here to enrich himself, and his abuse, his constant, permanent abuse, with the whip landing back in the house of Anchor, which is long-term abuse. Okay. We're seeing, as the news has developed today, if we follow this line, we're in the month of September, which is this line right here. If we look at the crossroads as describing a thing, this is elections, somewhere where you go to make a choice. Well, we're now learning that he was strong-arming and abusing his position in the government for an opportunity to swindle a foreign government into helping him get dirt, investigate someone's son, his opponent's son here, with the fox knighting over to the child. The child also lands in the house of the fox. So he's abusing his position here to have a foreign power, for money, investigate the son of his opponent for the elections. We're seeing that take place in September. For October, I had said that there was the potential for the two children to leave and resign the administration. And the reason that I had said that was because we have the child in the house of Fox, which, as things have been developing, this could be that it's talking about him strong-arming a foreign government into digging up dirt on his opponent's child. It could also be that the House starts investigating his children, his two children, with the crossroads and the child here. This could be two children. And the crossroads is in the house of child. Okay, so it's reiterated by the house that it lands in, and it's reiterated because the house is right next to the one that it comes before. So investigating the two children. And there is the possibility that to evade those investigations, the children may resign. We have the child in the house of Fox. We have the crossroads in the house of Crossroads here. So these are two action cards. The Crossroads, when it's not talking about choices, decisions, alternatives, options, multiples, it's also an action card in the sense that it means that you go one way or the other. And the Ship is also a card that's talking about taking action, going far away, going on a trip, going on vacation. So I had said that there is the potential for the children to leave if they come under investigation around October. Well, now we're finding out that he's asking another government to investigate his opponent's child. So it could be both. And I had also said that there is the possibility of overseas aggression. And the reason that I'm saying that is because of the Ship and the lilies. The Ship lands in the house of Crossroads, and the stars lands in the house of lilies. This could be rockets. This could be missiles. In an effort to aid royalty or not necessarily royalty, but like a prince or something down here, a young prince that is corrupt or is causing quite a bit of trouble. So that was quite concerning to me, especially as news is developing that, yes, he did confirm that he is sending troops to Saudi Arabia. If this is Saudi Arabia, down this line here of influence, and here, it's false. I think that we can all have a healthy dose of skepticism, especially with this administration that cannot be trusted. They're sneaky, weaselly in every sense of the word. I have my views, and I'm going to have to do a reading on that later to see if this was in fact a false flag perpetrated to get the U.S. to take marching orders from this person who has funded him. He has enriched him through his properties and his money to get him to do their bidding. I'm going to have to read on that separately, but that possibility is there for the month of October. And I had mentioned that in the previous readings when I originally did this tableau. For the month of November, another peculiar thing is that we're seeing the lilies in the house of snake. The lilies is the king of spades. The snake is in the queen of clubs. Right below it, we have the snake. Okay. The snake is in the house of bear. The bear is in the house of ring. This is a power couple here. These two. This is a power couple. This woman appears to be more committed to power and authority than this person. This person looks like they may have served in public office with the lilies knighting over to the garden. This person may have been in public office. They were well liked. And he did do some things overseas, perhaps, or had taken a few trips in secret. But this person has been in public office before. This woman here and this man are paired. They're a power couple. They have secrets. More so her than him. She is the one that has the knowledge of corruption, of something dirty that was going on with this person back here. It looks like this man and this man had a friendship at one point. It may have been distanced over time with the mountains right in the middle. So they may not have spoken in a very, 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 very long time, but it looks like they did have a good friendship at one point. I think we can all deduce who these people are right here. Why they're showing up in this grand tableau I found curious because of the fact, and we're getting, as we get more information, he has been using his position in government and his position in the White House to attack his opponents here. The whip goes back to the goes back to the anchor up here, and the anchor goes back to the coffin. He's looking to attack and end his opponents. However, if he attacks these people, this woman here is vicious. She is vicious. She is a snake. She is dangerous. And her commitment, she's very possessive of this man. Very, very, very possessive. They're a power couple, but her more possessive and committed to power than him. He seems to be more of like a joker. If he attacks these people come November, she's going to drop an anvil on his head. And the reason I say that is because right below her, she has the book. She knows about the secrets that are being covered up right here with the book followed by the clouds. If the book is a secret and you have the clouds right behind it, you're not going to find out what those secrets are. But if you look here to December, the card that lies right below it, there is the potential that she's going to expose everything to the public. And it has to do with affairs here. And that's going to end his career. This column here is also quite peculiar because of the fact that we have a woman that is suffering a very permanent, painful loss here. She could be publicly shamed. She could be publicly outcasted. Or this could be a person that could be attending a funeral here and here. And I have nowhere else to knight her other than here and here. Once we get to, like I said, once we get to September in that original reading, it's just bad. As we move forward to October, November, December, because of the fact that we have the fox, which is manipulation, cunning, it is fraud, it is something covert, it could be investigations. It's followed by the lily or the stars in the house of lilies. Well, that's great and wonderful. However, it's followed by two very negative cards that are talking about a cover-up, putting an end to something. The clouds lands in the house of sun. The sun lands in the house of clouds. These two are mirroring each other. So whatever success, the potential for success he has, it's ruined here and here. When you're doing a grand tableau, you want the clouds as far away and behind the stars, because if you think about the stars, it's your navigation system, it's your map, it's your opportunities, your hopes, your desires, going in a new direction, finding guidance. Well, if it's clouded over, you can't see them. Like, think about going outside on a cloudy night and you can't see a single star. It's the same thing. You're not going to be able to see. This could be in reference to investigating all of the cover-ups. But what's peculiar about December is that there is the possibility of a funeral here, or it could just be saying that this person is absolutely publicly shamed and their reputation is ruined. For this person here, the coffin lands back in the house of moon. That's an ending to someone's career and an ending to someone's reputation. The house lands in the house of man. The man is in the house of fish. If this is talking about his real estates and his properties, look at that. Investigations into his real estate and his properties are being investigated by courts here. And another interesting thing about this particular grand tableau is that the tower lands in its own house, which is kind of like a big flashing neon light, meaning this is of importance. So the investigations by the governments, perhaps the courts, into his businesses, his finances, the fraud into his finances, the multiple frauds, the multiple obstructions. There is the possibility and the potential, if this is his businesses, once they investigate and that information comes out, shut down. Not so much the court cases, because the tower is over here, which would be our courts. It's very far from the coffin. So it's not the court cases being shut down. It's more looking like the possibility looks more to be like his properties get shut down. I think we covered this part already. Talking about how we've found out more that he has held meetings, phone conversations, multiple phone conversations with a person overseas to strong arm them to investigate his opponent's child, with the child landing in the house of Fox, investigate the child for the elections as an advantage. In this line here, which I also found curious, is that there's 2 children that have betrayed a woman. So I'm just kind of curious because I had set the intention for the woman to be Ivanka Trump, not Melania, just as I had intended for the dog to be Junior, but it turned out to be Epstein. So it looks like 2 children have betrayed this woman. If it would have been the other way around, it would have been the woman is a liar or the woman is a betrayer. But no, she's receiving betrayal from 2 children. The 2 children appear to be manipulative, cunning. They're trying to cheat her out of something. She lands in the house of stars. This is someone that's in the media, someone that is well known, someone that is popular. And there's something here about a public affair. It could also be a charitable event, some sort of a charity, with the garden landing in the house of heart. So they may be betraying this woman, perhaps something to do with a charity or something. And then this charity, there may be another charity under perhaps Melania's name that gets shut down. If this is not talking about her attending a funeral, this could be one of Melania's or Ivanka's charities being shut down. But this woman here, whoever she is, if this is Melania or Ivanka, this person is receiving betrayal from 2 children in the family, here, and here. They've kept stuff from her. They've kept her in the dark and have lied and betrayed her. Let me see what else. So I thought I would just kind of review that because I found it quite fascinating that as we're moving forward in time, more of this is becoming revealed. And I wanted to just kind of pop it up again just to kind of review it and take a look at the potential or the possibilities of what may be coming up around October, November, and December. I found it quite curious that the possibility of the Clintons popping up around November. That may be his other form of distraction from this right here, to politically attack these 2, but he's messing with the wrong woman here, because she's going to drop an anvil on his head if he even thinks about going there. William Barr's down here, knighting over here. It's like he's happy to take the job in the government, or in the DOJ, his consigliere here to cover up and assist in the punishment of political opponents. I would have to do a separate grand tableau on bar. I believe I had done one. Let me see. I believe I had done one. I would have to put it back up again unless I do a whole brand new one. But I would really like to compare the two, because his tableau, no, I don't have it. His tableau that I had done showed massive amounts of public corruption. We had the garden in its own house and the mice in its own house. That's all I can remember. Public corruption, big time. So yeah, it looks like this is September, investigating the multiple obstructions. What we just heard about him strong-arming a foreign country into investigating his opponent's child for the elections here and here. Around this little box right here, here's a telephone call. Multiple telephone calls with a foreign adversary to investigate his opponent's child. Isn't that fascinating that it's all here? And like I said, it's just so hard to get everything because it's like a story and a story and a story and a story. You know what I mean? So it takes a lot of analysis. It takes a lot of discretion, and it's just like you're constantly picking stuff out of here. I find these fascinating. So I thought I would revisit that with you guys today. Keep an eye out for October. Let's hope I'm wrong. I was talking to a couple of viewers in the comment section below. I hope you don't mind for the shout out, but Scott Cubley and Lisa Marie, they pulled cards. And I remember Lisa Marie had said that she had gotten the 8 of Wands and the 5 of Wands. The 8 of Wands is something that is very, very rapid. And the 5 of Wands is aggression fighting. So let's hope that this column here for October is in reference to the children leaving, or more information coming out about him trying to get dirt on Joe Biden's son, getting another country involved, because there is the possibility of missiles and rockets. Here's aggression, foreign aggression here and here, and also with it knighting here for money here and here. Money laundering, trafficking, foreign aggression, missiles, investigations into the house, investigating his opponent's children, a serious cover-up, perhaps some sort of retaliation against these two people here. She has all the secrets about his corruption with this guy, what he was involved in with this guy, his relationship to this guy. If he attacks her, she's going to drop a bomb on this man's head. But there's something really, really weird going on in December as well. Either there is some sort of a funeral, or perhaps some sort of charity gets shut down that's under this person's name. There is also the potential, as we move forward in time, for his businesses and his properties to get shut down. So we're at 28 minutes. Let's see how things develop. Let's see how it develops. Let's hope that nothing crazy happens in October as a form of deflection from all the other chaos that's going on. Please feel free to leave me any comments or questions down below. Like I said, I'd be really happy to do those other videos with you guys, just to kind of break it up a little bit. Like, just let me know. And I will see you on my next one. Thank you. Bye-bye.